Now featuring over 400 episodes, I first stumbled upon the Jocko podcast when he was a guest on Sam Harris's show in 2019. I was immediately taken by the fact that Jocko Willink is an exceptionally unique person. Here's my review of the Jocko podcast. The Jocko podcast is an incredible listening experience that I highly recommend to anyone looking for a thought-provoking, inspiring, and frankly, challenging podcast. Retired Navy SEAL Jocko Willink hosts the show, giving listeners a unique perspective on leadership, discipline, and personal development. But it's more than that. Started in late 2015, Jocko's podcast mostly takes on the interview format and brings on some of the most incredible guests you'll ever hear. Here's a sampling of some of my favorite guests that the Jocko podcast has brought on. Drago Zirin, from political prisoner to Navy SEAL. Dakota Meyer Medal of Honor recipient Kelsey Sharon. Founder and CEO of Brass and Unity John Stryker. Meyer, Green Beret. Johnny Kim Navy SEAL, medic, doctor, astronaut. One of the things that I appreciate most about the Jocko podcast is how Jocko can connect with his audience. He shares stories from his time in the military, war stories, and insights gained through his work as a leadership consultant. These stories are constantly engaging and thought-provoking, providing valuable lessons that can be applied to any aspect of life. Jocko's emphasis on discipline and personal responsibility isn't just a cheesy shtick, although he has seemingly cornered the market on it. He definitely walks the walk and embodies these principles he's often found espousing on the podcast. He encourages his listeners to take ownership of their lives and to make the most of their time and resources. This message is especially valuable in today's world, where it is easy to get distracted and lose sight of what really matters. Another thing that I love about the Jocko podcast is the way that Jocko provides practical advice and tools for personal development. Whether discussing the importance of physical fitness, the benefits of meditation, or the power of positive thinking, Jocko always provides actionable steps listeners can take to improve their lives. Overall, I highly recommend the Jocko podcast to anyone looking for a podcast that will challenge and inspire them. Jocko's unique perspective on leadership and personal development is refreshing and insightful, and his passion for helping others is evident in every episode. Whether you are a fan of his military background, want to hear war stories from a former Navy SEAL, listen to stories from some of the most incredible people on the planet, or simply looking for a podcast that will help you grow as a person, the Jocko podcast is a must-listen. So go ahead and give it a try. You won't be disappointed.